team is called WARESMA. It's a team of 6 Chevening and CSC alumni from Zambia, Uganda and Nigeria. Speaking today, we have Anietie Williams, and answering questions in the chat box is Linda Amanya. Over to you.
All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. My name is Anietie Williams, and I'm very, very excited to be presenting my team today, speaking on a threefold policy framework for the conversion of food waste to resources in sub-Saharan Africa. My team name is WARESMA, and that's short for Waste Resource Management. Next slide, please. Okay, so first and foremost is the challenge. And so what we have done is we have divided the challenges that we identified into 3 distinct areas, and which are very, very immensely important. The first is the food loss and waste. Over 37% of food is lost and wasted in sub-Saharan Africa alone, amounting to almost over $4 billion. And by our own research, we have seen that this is able to feed at least 48 million people. And so when you juxtapose this with the fact that in Africa alone, more than 260 million people are undernourished, then you would agree with me that this is a very, very serious problem. Apart from this, there's also the problem of energy inefficiency. 90% of sub-Saharan Africa's population depend on firewood for cooking, and this amounts to about 1.2% of global carbon dioxide emissions, which is really huge, causing biodiversity loss, soil erosion, and land degradation. And so another problem that could arise is what happens with how are these wastes being disposed? So we have inappropriate and illegal dumping of waste, leading to huge landfills across sub-Saharan Africa and greenhouse gas emissions as well. So these are really huge problems, and in the next slide I'll propose our solutions to them. Okay, so what we have tried to do is that we have proposed a novel threefold policy framework for utilizing food waste in sub-Saharan Africa. The first is the use of the Measure Track Initiative effect. And so what we think is, first and foremost, waste that are being generated by individuals, companies, households, and all of that should first be measured effectively, so that we'll be able to track their source and track how they are being disposed and discarded. Okay, and then a part of that is action as well. So action involves creating awareness for local people, creating awareness for companies, creating awareness for everyone involved, and ensuring that action is being taken. Number 2 is the provision of financial incentives. We believe that one of the ways to effect change is creating financial incentives in terms of money and tax incentives for individuals, for households, and for companies to ensure that they are able to stick to waste consciousness and sustainability perspectives. Number 3 is bionutrients and energy recovery. What we have done is we're proposing sustainable technologies that could be used to recover any waste that makes it out. So sustainable technologies like hydrothermal carbonization, enzymatic degradation, and what have you are important technologies that are being implemented across the world, and which we believe, if brought into Africa, would go a long way in solving most of these problems. Next slide, please. Okay, so what would be the impact of our work? The impact of our work, we have tried to put it side by side with the Sustainable Development Goals. First is increased biodiversity. We believe that if most of the food waste that is being generated are used as a source of energy generation using the sustainable technologies I mentioned earlier, then it means that the falling of trees that's being used for firewood and for cooking would reduce dramatically, and that will contribute to the Sustainable Development Goal 15. How about zero food waste to landfill by 2030? That's also another very, very important impact of our work. Increase farmers' income, because farmers will be able to generate alternative sources of revenue from the agricultural waste and food waste that they produce. 15% reduction in the greenhouse gas emission by 2030 as well. And very, very importantly, is the provision of 1 million green jobs. By our estimation, we believe that if some of these sustainable technologies are implemented across sub-Saharan Africa, we have calculated that at least 1 million green jobs would be provided. Next slide, please. Okay, so how will our policy be implemented? Like I said before, the first is the training, awareness creation, and citizen engagement. For any change to be implemented, we believe that people first have to be aware. A lot of people across sub-Saharan Africa actually ignorant of their role in the climate change propagation. And so we believe that the first thing we're going to be doing is creating awareness and citizen engagement. Secondly is the creation of partnership with relevant authorities and stakeholders to implement these policies. We have identified stakeholders such as investors, food companies, policymakers, environmentalists, environmental regulators, councils, and among others. As these are the people that we hope to be working with in implementing the change that we intend. Finally, is the use of sustainable technologies, hydrothermal carbonization, enzymatic degradation, which are easily scalable, accessible, and affordable, and can be implemented in local communities across Africa. And we believe that with this will create a lot of jobs for local population. So thank you so much for listening to our presentation, and we are happy to entertain any question.
Thank you very much, Anietie. Over to our judges. Is there a question for Team WARESMA? Yes, Hasib, over to you.
Thank you very much for this interesting presentation. I was just wondering, you have been trying to tackle 3 different, of course, interconnected challenges. But I was wondering that at the moment, is there any existing body or existing policy that actually bring this together, or we need to develop something new? Because at the first glance, you might not see the connection. They are all important. And in the last implementation slide, you have shown that all are separate activities. I was just wondering whether there is any policy or a body can bring all together. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your question. We believe that the 3 of them are really, really interconnected, in the sense that if food waste are recovered as much as possible, according to the waste management hierarchy, for example, first and foremost is to prevent food waste, creating awareness to people, creating awareness to households, creating awareness to individuals and communities, and letting them know of their roles in the mitigation of food waste and all of that. And so if that is properly implemented, then then of course that first part of our policy has already been tackled. But according to waste management hierarchy, there's also the place of energy recovery and energy and nutrient recovery, which is also part of the plan. So we believe that not all food waste can actually be prevented. Some of them would also still make it out. And so because of that, we believe that what are the alternative things that we could use this food waste and municipal waste to achieve? And one of it is in the generation of energy using sustainable technologies. And yeah, we have identified stakeholders such as the Ministry of Environment across Sub-Saharan Africa, and of course, ministry departments and agencies that are highly relevant and mutually relevant. And we believe that if these plans are properly implemented and stick to, then we can actually achieve this.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Team WARESMA. And if there are any other questions from the judges or the audience, please do put them in the chat box.